kind of a little bit about me. I've been playing sports my whole life, playing football, played lacrosse 4 years in college, and there is where I kind of learned how to lift, did some Olympic lifting. Shocker, I actually did like a smidge of CrossFit then. Oh my gosh, cardio. So I've been lifting for a while. Had many people show me, teach me, but again, I've been saying this at the strength classes. I don't know everything. I'm not the smartest person in the world, especially when it comes to lifting. I've just been doing this for a while, and I'm here to teach you guys the basics. Now, I will say this, because I've done stuff like this before. Look, with lifting and programming and things like that, and especially CrossFit, there's so much. There's so many philosophies, there's so many things and ways to do it. Even in powerlifting with 3 lifts, you can have so many people coming at each other with, oh, you have to do conjugate, you have to do linear, block periodization, all those big words to say, all of it works if you stick to it and you don't hurt yourself, all right? So, if you have questions or want to go in depth and have a conversation, talk to me afterwards, all right? I want to respect everybody's time here. So if I work with high schoolers all the time, and middle schoolers, like, in the middle while I'm talking, like, nope, don't make me treat you like a middle schooler, all right? I will, all right? So, what we're going to go over today is this. We're going to go over basically the strength aspect of CrossFit, why it's important, why you should do it, why it's helpful. Then we're going to go over technique, all right? We're going to talk about deadlifts, bench, squat, and then if we have time, some overhead press, because that is a part of what you guys do, and it'll be strict overhead press. And then we're going to go over programming. Now, the programming aspect, you're like, I don't really care. That's okay. That part is for if you want to learn it, and if you are a member here, me explaining what we are doing, why we are doing what we are doing, and mainly going to go over what's called RPE, because that's something that we're going to put in with 115 members here. It's hard to specialize, but we want to give you the best opportunity to get stronger, get fitter, and just look good, right? All right, so I have a quote right here. Mark Bell, I never met one person that doesn't possess the ability to get strong. All of you have the ability to get stronger, even though you do CrossFit or even if you don't do CrossFit, you have the ability to get stronger. I'm a firm believer. Like, I hear people all the time, I can't, I'm hurt, I have this injury, whatever the excuses, it's all excuses at the end of the day. Now, you're gonna be like, Connor, I had like major back surgery. All right, you're the outlier, sorry. But I truly believe even something like a deadlift, if you do it correctly and you take the time, you can do it. And you can do it with heavy weight. And guess what? If you do that, then man, when you are down the road and you're older and you're still lifting and then you fall, guess what? You're not going to break your hip because you have strong ligaments and strong muscles. So I've never met one person that doesn't possess the ability to get strong. I love strength. Like, that's no shocker. If you look at my Facebook, you'll see the Mountain from Game of Thrones, Brian Shaw, powerlifters, even the Highland Games. I love that stuff. I just think strength is one of the coolest things you can do. It builds character, and again, it helps you make look good. So, strength and CrossFit. I'm gonna look at my phone a couple of times if you have notes. If you guys feel free to take notes, because there is gonna be a lot, and we will have like a bathroom room around here. All right. And Jared's gonna give me like if I'm like rambling, as you can tell, I like to ramble. All right, so the main reason why I have these movements right here, all right, the reason why we have, and including the snatch and the power cleans or just ollie lifting, is because it uses the most amount of muscle, and you can use the most amount of weight, which is called overloading, which we'll talk about later. And it allows you to use all those muscles, and it gives you a base, a solid base. All right. When I have one of my students that I have been helping out lifting, he is a type 1 diabetic. He is 6'3", and he's 100 pounds. Okay? And if I showed you his squat and bench and deadlift before, it was atrocious. Now he has that base. I went straight to those 3. That's all he did. And now he can lift a decent amount of weight because he has that base. All right? That's what these lifts do. They literally, even the bench works your quads, your hamstrings, and your glutes. We'll talk about that later. It works everything, and that's the point of all this. Instead of doing a million bicep curls, or just a overhead shoulder press, like the dumbbells, nice and easy, like you can get a overhead press with a bar and put probably 50, 70, 100 more pounds than you can with dumbbells. All right? So it gives you a rock solid base. Like this is where you should start. It'll help with the rest of your lifts. Okay? Now, as CrossFitters, mainly, you don't want to just focus on these 4 lifts, okay? Because you'll end up like me, who's all tight here, tight lats, tight pecs, and like hurting and all that stuff, and I'm not mobile, and I can only do those 3 lifts now, okay? If I do anything else, I'll fall apart. All right? Trying to change that. But you don't want to do that. You want to, especially in CrossFit, you want to be able to do everything, but these will help you with those lifts, okay? So, you have let's just take a squat. If you take your squat from 100 pounds to 200 pounds, your power clean is going to go up. Your snatch is going to go up. Your air squats are going to feel like $1,000,000. If you deadlift, let's just say you have a 200-pound deadlift. You bump that up, let's just say 350. When you have to do a Metcon, and there's 165 pounds on the bar, light work, right? Or if you want to challenge yourself, you can go up, and then you can build more muscle, you can get stronger, faster, and look good, right? So, that is the biggest thing, and I say this very humbly because I really think if I did a Metcon right now, I'd have a heart attack, all right? But if we did something with a barbell, it would take me very short amount of time to just figure out the technique, okay? Because I have that base. You guys have that base. So when you start out with this stuff, it makes it easy. And a lot of technique, it all comes together. It all is the same. You guys who I've been helping out with strength these past couple weeks, you've heard me say the same things over and over again. You'll hear that again today in depth. It is also it's just good to have really good technique. And again, they all blend together. So if you have safe, good technique, one, you will lift more. Like the technique is not just to make you safe, it's to help you use your body the way it was supposed to. I've been saying this a lot, and you'll hear me say it again. It's like if I come up to punch you, and I punch you like this. I want to punch you like that, right? I want to use the force of my body, my body parts the right way so I can have that force. It's the same way. It's allowing you to use your body in that way. Again, and a lot of these, when we get down to the programming, they're a lot of the same thing, okay? Take a toes to bar, for example, all right? So, if you, what's it called? If you want to make it less hard, what do you guys call it again? Scale it. So if you want to scale it, what do? You do, right? Knees to chest, right? So you do those. You get really good at those. And then hopefully maybe, you can get 1 toes bar. Okay, 2. And then you start to get really good at it. But then you start doing toes bar all the time, oh man, I'm not getting anything out of it, I'm not progressing. It's actually kind of easy. Or you're doing pull-ups. The other day I saw Marie during a workout, just cranking out pull-ups like it was nothing. Because she weighs 2 pounds. But still, it doesn't matter. And this is not a shot at Marie, sorry. That's just the first thing that came to my head. But you want to make it harder, right? You're not going to progress So you overload. These are all the same things. All of these, like programming analogies and terminologies are used in running, in swimming, and especially track athletes, okay? So you want to progress, you want to overload. So this all can help you out in CrossFit. So again, with toes to bar, I've heard people say like, okay, put ankle weights on and do like just do 2 reps of it. Go back to it being hard again. Like, you're not progressing if it's always easy, okay? So like that's why we will do stuff like a pause deadlift, and you'll hate me for it, and it's gonna be terrible. But it's supposed to feel terrible. It's supposed to suck. It's how you adapt. It's how you overcome, and that's how you get better. Okay? So that's strength in CrossFit. I mean, look, I don't have to tell you that strength is gonna really, really help you out. Because just look at some of the top athletes. Look at Rich Froning. He's the #1, and Matt Fraser. They're the 2 greatest, most fit people in the whole world, and they are some of the strongest people at the games. Now they have other assets. Obviously, I know strength is everything in CrossFit, okay? But it's the strength seminar, so that's what we're gonna talk about. All right, so that is strength in CrossFit. All right, so we're gonna go over technique right now. You might be looking at this, breathing and bracing. I have that in there because this is just its own separate thing. This will, if you do it correctly, add weight to the bar immediately. Again, it's like adding that force production, right? Having that rigid body, okay? Because right now, what a lot of us are lifting is kind of like we're like firm here, but our wrist. So we're gonna get hurt, right? You ever seen someone with a squat? They get right here, and then you see their upper back, like as they're coming up like this. Now, if you've been doing it for a long time, and you're like, that's how I did it, okay. By all means. But I'm gonna show you what I think is the safest way. Have you guys ever heard of Westside Barbell? Louis Simmons, he is all about breathing and bracing. He goes so in depth with it. Just look up YouTube videos after this. That'll help you out even more. But so breathing and bracing. All right, you're gonna see how big my belly is. All right. So breathing and bracing. It is not just flexing my abs on my way down. Okay. That's what a lot of people are taught. Flex your core. Flex, flex, flex. On a squat, deadlift, whatever. No. Okay. And this is, I will say this. This is just for the main movements. Do not do this during Petcock, oh God. All right? So, breathing and bracing. It's not your chest. It's your diaphragm. All right? So, what I want everybody to do right now is stand up. All right? I want you to take just a deep breath in. Don't worry about the bracing. Through your nose. Through your nose. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Your chest raised up. You're doing it wrong. All right? So now what I want you to do is, I'm going to share with you a couple different ways. I want you to swallow your breath. And then stick out that gut. And flex. 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 You should feel so much abdominal pressure. Blow out. Please nobody pass out on me. Do it again. Alright? Now, everybody lay on the floor with your feet up. You're like, ew, I don't want to get on the floor. Sorry, guys. With your feet up. Kind of like a dead bug if you guys know it. Alright, flat back. I want you to breathe into your belly and just your belly come off the ground. Come up, sorry. I don't want your chest. Okay? I want your gut to like rise up and come down. Alright? Alright, everybody can go sit down again. Good job, good participation, guys. Alright? Now, this is going to, like, I'm not gonna be able to get you to do this thing. It took me so long, but once it clicks, it'll click. All right? The reason we want to do that is their diaphragm is like a balloon. All right? It not only comes out this way, but it surrounds your core. When you say core, it's not just your six pack, okay? It's your obliques and your back and your lower back, okay? So it's getting everything nice and tight. And we'll talk about when we go to the lifts, you'll see me do this before. Okay, I'm getting my air in, then I'm flexing. I'm flexing hard, crunching my abs down, hits through. I look weird doing this, but look at my back. All right, when I stand up normal, guess what? All of us have it. I look like this. Exactly, walking around like this, right? We're all sitting on our desks. We're all, all of you are like, not me. All of us sit up straight. No, we all have that lower back tilt, right? For the most part. And then if you're, most of us have rounded shoulders because we're doing this all day or we're doing this all day, right? So we're just messed up. So we need to fix that. We need to get in a correct position. We need to get a neutral spine. Without a doubt, that has helped me. Again, I'm using my own story here, my own lifts. That put 100 pounds in my squat, like instantly. So when you do it, it just clicks. All right. So breathing and bracing. With people who are Gamma members, we'll go through that stuff and we'll talk through that because again, it's a little bit different with CrossFit, and it can be dangerous if you keep doing it like how I do it, how a powerlifter does it, because I do it every single time. But even if you just got a little bit of air in your gut, it's going to save you a lot of money, because then you're not going to have back surgery like you were going to. Okay. All right. So I have squats here. We'll just start with deadlifts because deadlifts is right here. All right. So I'll kick my shoes off, and I might in a second where you want to be up here. Also, don't feel weird if you have to get up and go to the bathroom. I'm not gonna call you out or anything like that. All right. So with the deadlift, we're gonna go over conventional first because that's what you guys are gonna mainly do. We'll talk sumo. I'm not the most proficient person in sumo, but they're both the same thing for the most part. So when you are approaching the bar, okay, and again, this is not Metcon deadlifts. These are strength. I'm building my strength. So think of the strength portion of the workouts as like a supplement to the workout. Does that make sense? It's going to help you get stronger so that you can do the Metcons better. Does that make sense? Okay? So, I approach the bar, okay? So, I want to cut my feet in half. I've been saying this, but so if you have like the tongues on your shoe, I don't want to see the logo. Cut it off, all right? But it's not half of your foot, because some people are really back here. The reason for that is you don't want to be too far back here, because then the bar's all the way out here. I'm exaggerating here, and it's a lot harder to stay tight, and your back's gonna round. And if you've ever tried to pick up like a box while you're moving or something like that, and it's out here, your back just rounds. You can't stay tight. You're gonna hurt yourself. Okay? Like that. That's number one right there. Safety. All right. So I want to get nice, but I don't want to be here because then I can't do anything. Okay? I can't, and it's gonna roll anyways. So I want to cut my foot in half, where basically right around where your ankle meets your foot. You don't want the bar to move. Don't move the bar. I saw a lot of people like don't do that. Don't move the bar. Don't roll it. I know some of you like that. I was one of those people. I did that all the time. I rolled the deadlift bar because I wanted to be cool, but it's so inconsistent. And especially you CrossFitters want to rush through every freaking workout. Man, now I'm calling y'all out. Oh my goodness. You want to rush through this, take your time. take your time. We powerlifters, we like to take our time. We like to lift, sit down, maybe have a couple Sour Patch Kids. Talk to our friends, text our wives, I don't know. That's what I do. I take snaps while I'm doing it. Kids are like, are you working out? That's my wife. So, don't move the bar. Sorry, gosh, I'm so ADD. So, you'll hear me say this with squat too, all right? I want you to spread the floor. Spread the floor. Oh, and with feet, I like it a little angled out. Not here, and I don't want it straight forward unless you like that. Like that's a preference. But I want it out a little bit, okay? I want you to spread the floor. See my legs right now? I want you to grab the ground, 3 points of contact. Toes, big toe, heel. On the ground, okay? Because what happens is this, when I lift up, and then people get balanced. I see so many toes. I would even recommend going barefoot, or if you have a flat sole shoe, use that. Don't try not to use a running shoe. Metcons, like the shoes and some of the CrossFit shoes are pretty good. They're pretty solid. Like Nobles are really good for those. I deadlifted in those Nobles right there. But that way you can have 3 points of contact, and I'm spreading the floor. Or if this works better for you, it's like you're back on the beach and you're trying to make make a little hole with your feet in the sand. Dig, like you want to basically make a pile right here of sand. So I'm twisting in. What that's doing right now? My glutes are activated. My hamstrings are activated. Everything's activated. Now I'm not saying you like you don't want to like do it really, really hard because you'll hurt your knees. It'll be uncomfortable. But you just want a decent amount. I would say like 60%. Okay? So here, okay? Now, I want a hip hinge. Now, hip hinge can be a difficult thing if you're a newbie, but basically hip hinge is the walls behind me here. I bend my knees a little bit, excuse me, but I want to get my butt and I want to touch it. I'm not bending over like this. It's just hips back. Okay? See that? So I'll say that a lot today, hip hinge. I want you to hip hinge down. So, spread the floor, okay? Hip hinge down, okay? Now, I want you to grab the bar. It's okay if your back is rounded at this point right now, okay? Now, what you're going to do, this might be a new concept for some of you, all right? I want you to take slack out of the bar, maybe this little. I picked the deadlift bar because I wanted to see it bend a little bit. Might put a little more weight on here. But, grab here, all right? Now, if you're a mixed grip, when you get heavier, do that. I would say, like, when you're working up, do overhand as much as you can. If you can do hook grip, do hook grip, because you'll end up like, if you don't, you'll end up like me, where my back is now all messed up because I'm like this. Okay? If you can do that, and especially with just grip strength, like you want big forearms, right? Just overhand for your warm-ups, okay? And then when it gets heavy, mixed grip. So I'm gonna go down, all right? I'm going to